welcome to my knitting podcast. Thank you so much for joining me again if you are a returning viewer, and if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for taking the time to try out my podcast. On that note, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who looked at, who watched my last podcast and who subscribed. I had a much bigger sort of reaction to my video than I thought I would, and I'm really grateful, and I just want to say thank you for that. So, on to my first section of the podcast. We have where you can find me. I am on Ravelry as Craft Needle Addict, and I am on Instagram as XUBX, and I'll obviously be putting up little things as I usually do. And straight into the knitting, onto finished objects. So this week I actually have 2 finished objects for you, which is a little bit unusual for me. So first I'm going to start with Ethan's socks. So Ethan, if you're watching this, please look away. I've hidden them appropriately this time so that you won't be able to see them. So yes, look away. These are Ethan's socks. I don't know if I should bother. Here we go. Ethan socks. This is what I'm going to do is I'm going to flash the names up on the screen so that he can't hear me talking about what colors they are. But anyway, so I've done the contrasting cuff, heel and toe, and I knit these separately or concurrently, and I knit them on 2.5mm needles. I'll tell you the brands. The contrasting cuff, heel and toe are Drops, and the rest of the ankle and the foot are West Yorkshire Spinners yarns. And I've decided to do a lot of my socks that I'm giving as gifts to friends in West Yorkshire Spinners yarns, because I wanted something that was British or UK yarn, but also for some of my friends I know that like asking them to hand wash these is going to be a major schlep. So yes, these are the socks, and I haven't put them on sock blockers because they're so big they don't fit on the little sock blockers I made, the cardboard ones I showed you last time. So these are those. And so is that everything? Oh, and I just wanted to say that these were made using Mina's vanilla sock pattern for, well, I largely just use it for the heel. And that is it. So Ethan, you can look again. Then I have my auntie's socks. So these are made using the West Yorkshire Spinners yarn as well, and these are the Rum Paradise, and I love them so much. I actually have a little bit left over. Oh, here. I have a little bit left over. So I'm hoping I might have enough if I do contrasting heel and toe to do like little shorty socks for myself, because I love this color so much. But that's going to be a project for after I'm finished doing all my gifts for South African people. So these were also knit concurrently and on 2.5mm needles, and also with the Mina's vanilla sock pattern for the heel. And I actually knit these really quickly. I realized at the beginning of this week that I have about roughly 4 weeks before I go back to South Africa, and I have like 10 projects I want to have finished for people there. I'm sorry, I'm getting some glare in my glasses, but I realized last time that half of the video was out of focus because I wasn't wearing my glasses and I couldn't see what was going on. So I will try and angle so that you can't see the glare. But yes, so I have a lot of projects to finish before I go back to South Africa. And it's not too bad because I know, like, for my mom and my dad and probably my in-laws, they won't mind too much if I finish up knitting them once I'm in South Africa. But still, even 6 projects in 4 weeks is quite a lot for me, because like 3 of those are shawls, and I've never even knit a shawl. This is the sort of thing I get myself into. I'm like, oh, I've never knit a shawl. Let me offer to knit 3 shawls for people. Yes, that's what I do. So these are those, and I think that that is done. Yes. Oh, and I was telling you, these I knit very quickly because although technically there were 5 days between when I cast on and when I cast off, it was the weekend, and I don't actually knit that much on the weekend. Well, I didn't knit that much on the weekend. Now that I have so many projects, I will be knitting a lot on the weekend. But I didn't knit that much on the weekend, so I kind of cast them on and I did the one cuff and then I did the other cuff, which I could have done in one day. And then on Monday, I knit the whole ankle and I did the heel toe. And then on Tuesday, I knit for both of them. And then on Tuesday, I knit the whole foot for both of them. And then yesterday, I knit the toes for both of them. And so I figured if I had done the cuffs on the same day as the toes, that would have taken me 3 days. Because obviously it didn't take me very long to do the toe decreases yesterday. But I had other errands I had to run yesterday. So, those socks. There. And then, lastly, for finished objects, I have a little bit to tell you about my blanket. I don't know if that goes as whips. Well, whips is the next section. I don't have any whips, so it's up to you whether you consider this part of a whip or whether you consider it finished objects, because they finished the squares, but they're part of a bigger whip, so I'm not sure. Oh, and I had my lovely friend Ethan ask me last week, what is a whip? Because I realized now that some of you are not knitters who have decided to watch my knitting podcast because you are friends with me. So I will explain that a whip means a work in progress. And if I don't know if I said finished objects or FOs, but yes, a finished object is an FO and a whip is a work in progress. So, I'm not sure where this fits, but I did some squares. Oops. So, as you can see, I decided to go with the mitered square, which is where it kind of goes at an angle. You do a central double decrease. And so this was done out of the West Yorkshire Spinners Rum Paradise colorway. This one I did is actually a South African yarn. There's a brand called L, which I'm pretty sure is just a South African brand, and they make the softest sock yarn. It is so soft, it's unbelievably soft. Anyway, so that is that, and I actually do not remember the colorway for this one, I'm sorry, but this is the L brand. And this one is called Lincoln. I think that's the brand. Well, I'm not sure if that's like, it might also be L, but then it's their Lincoln range, I'm not sure, but anyway. So that is that one. This is West Yorkshire Spinners Blue Lagoon, which I knit some socks for my husband out of. Here is this is actually the yarn I was using in my intro to this video, and this is another South African brand. This is also the same brand that I used for my mom's socks when that I showed last time. So this is I don't know what I've done with the tag, but it's African Expressions, and the range is Soul, but I don't know, these don't really have colorways, they just have numbers, so I'm sorry, I can't remember the number. But anyway, so that's that. It looks kind of black here, I don't know. Problem is that if I bring it up close, then I have to do this whole funny thing. And then the last one is this Regia sock yarn that I knit another pair of socks for my husband out of. These were the first socks I knit when I got to the UK. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about these. I've knit these all on 2.5mm needles. And now, Ethan, you're going to need to look away again because I want to show people this compared to the very first one I did, which is in Ethan's sock yarn. So, okay, we're going to have to do the zooming in thing again. Let me see which one has a nice example. This one has quite a nice example. So, with this, I want to show you I made a mistake with mine in the beginning. Okay, so it's quite hard to see, but some of my stitches have like a weird sort of wrap going on. So this middle part is not very pronounced, and it doesn't really look like the normal stitches you expect it to look like, and it has like a weird wrap going on, and I noticed that and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. You can see how it's supposed to look with this one. It has like a nice almost like braid effect going down the middle. So what I discovered I was doing wrong is for this one, when you do, and this is a free pattern so I'm not spoiling anything, but when you do your central double decrease and you slip the first 2 stitches across your needle, I was slipping them purlwise on this one. But I realized with the rest of them that you actually need to slip it knitwise, and it's amazing what a little thing, just depending on how you slip your stitches across, it can make such a massive difference to the finished appearance. So I just wanted to show you that, because in case you're also, in case you're also struggling, you've also got this problem and you're trying to figure out what on earth am I doing wrong, then hopefully this will help you and you'll figure that is the problem. And so Ethan, you may watch again because I am done with your yarn. Mustache! Okie dokie, it's on to mustache time. Talking about mustache. Okay, in seriousness, this is really my acquisition sort of segment, and I actually have something to show you. And you might remember, if you watched last week's episode, I said that I got a delivery on the day that I was podcasting, and I decided to keep it for this week so that I have a little bit more to talk about and more to show you. So this is my lovely bundle that came. I love getting yarn in the post. I really love it. It's so exciting. And my post lady has come to recognize me because this is my second delivery, and because I'm home most of the time, she's now realized that if one of my neighbors, because I live in a little apartment block or flat block, I don't know what you call it in the UK, but she's realized that if one of my neighbors aren't home, then I'm probably home, so I've become the unofficial post admin lady of the block, and she keeps dropping packages off with me. So I have quite a bit here, and almost all of these are for projects that I'm going to be knitting for my South African friends and family. So this section today will kind of combine needle adjacent projects with acquisitions. So because this is all the stuff I've got to be knitting before I get back to South Africa. So anyway, first one is some needles. I got some 4mm 100 centimeter for knitting shawls. As I've said, never knit a shawl before, but I have one pattern which I'm thinking of using. I know I want to knit it for myself. So I'm going to show you the front of it because this came free with a ball of yarn that I purchased a while ago. I've already knit socks out of it. And it kind of looked very simple and easy to do, so I thought that that would be a good place to start with shawls. So I actually have already bought some yarn to knit myself a shawl out of this, but I don't think that that is going to happen for a while because I have, as I keep saying, I have all these other things. So anyway, so these are the size of needles that called for, so hopefully these will work for a lot of things. And I know a shawl is knit flat, but I've heard that cable needles are the best for knitting shawls on, so now let's see. Okay, these balls of yarn. Oh no, oh dear, it's run away. Okay, these are for I'm dropping everything. These are for a scarf which I'm probably going to crochet for my husband. So this again is probably not going to happen for quite a while unless I miraculously finish everything early. It is just a Drops Charisma mix. Oops. And color, this is 16. This is 53, and this light one is 21, and it is 100% wool. So my husband's quite fussy. He likes his things to be at least 50% wool. So 100% wool is good for him. I'm just gonna put that there for now. Then we have some 50-gram balls. These are gonna be, well, I think they're gonna be a shawl for my grandmother. To be honest, I made a little bit of a mistake with these. I knew it was 100% cotton, but I didn't realize that it is mercerized cotton. So I'm not sure if I can knit a shawl out of these. I'm gonna try though. We'll see how that goes, and I'll let you know how that goes. But this is gonna be a shawl for my grandmother. Then we have these two, the red and the white, and these are for one of my sister's friends is having a baby soon, and so I've decided to knit her a baby jersey. I might get two. The reason I bought 2 balls was because I wanted to do a mixture of the red and the white, but I think I'm actually going to have enough yarn here to knit 2 jerseys, although maybe I'll knit a slightly bigger one. I don't know what I'm going to do. But how cute is that label? It's got a little kitty cat. That says baby. It's very cute. I love the label. Oops. And that is 100% acrylic, because having a father and a sister who are both allergic to animal wool, they'd probably be fine with silk, but like kind of alpaca or sheep or anything like that they're allergic to, and so I'm always really concerned when babies, I'm led to believe, have very sensitive skin, and so I'm always really concerned with when I make them projects, then I always want to use a acrylic yarn so that they can't be allergic to any of the wool content. And like this one is baby, so it's made for making projects for babies, so we hope that this will be fine. It's very soft and nice. Then we have, this is another West Yorkshire Spinners yarn, and this, the colorway is 6, I'm not sure if it's 6 or 861, I'm not sure, but I do know that the name of it is Bullfinch. Yes, this is the Bullfinch colorway, and this will also knit up stripy, I don't want to say too much, but anyway, this will knit up stripy, I know that. And so quite excited to knit this up, and this is another present for my auntie's husband, so uncle. This is actually auntie and uncle-in-law, but anyway, I know that they will appreciate these, so that is for him. I don't really know what colors he likes, but I thought that this sort of reds and greys and blacks is a nice manly color. And then I buy 2 black ones. I don't remember that, but anyway, so this last lot is for my daddy. This is for my father's, he wanted a scarf, and I know this orange is super duper bright, but he has, his rain jacket is that bright, and so he asked me to make him a black scarf with orange stripes and for it to kind of match his jacket. So there we go. I don't think my mom's gonna be too impressed, but my dad will be, so that's fine. And I have a little bit more for sort of needle adjacent projects. There's one more, so Chantal, if you are watching, please turn away now. So this I've already bought. I bought it when I bought Ethan's sock yarn, and this is the sock yarn that I bought for Chantal. It's lovely. I love the colors. I'm not going to say too much about it. I will pop up, this is a West Yorkshire Spinners yarn, so it's machine washable, so that's fine, but I'm going to pop up the name on the screen. I'm not going to say it because I don't want Chantal to get any hints as to what it is. So very excited to knit this up. I love the colors. So nice. And I think that is it for my well, that's it for my acquisitions and mustache. And I think that's it for my needle adjacent projects. So I will move on now to sewing, and I'm going to take a quick break before I'm back. Alright, I'm back. I tidied up all my acquisitions quickly, and I'm back with sewing. So I also have some acquisitions here too. So last Saturday I went out with my husband and kind of tricked him a little bit. Not really. Well, it wasn't intentional, but the thing is that our headboard is a metal headboard and it's not attached. And we wouldn't have chosen it, but because we were renting, that's what came with the place. And every time one of us rolls over in bed, it clangs and wakes the other person up. So we decided that we needed to make a cover for it so that it wouldn't be so noisy. And so on Saturday I said to my husband, oh, we should go to a fabric shop to go and buy some fabric for the headboard. And he was all keen, and that's fine. And then while another friend of ours was coming with us, and while we were waiting for her to get to our apartment, then I was busy looking at project bags for keeping my knitting in. I was just looking up some patterns so I could try and figure out how much material I'd need for that. So I'm busy trying to figure this out. My husband comes in and he's like, why are you doing that? I thought that we were supposed to be going for headboard cover, not for project bag material for you. And I was like, yeah, well, we could always do both. And then I'm trying to figure out, and it was early in the morning, okay, and I'm not good at maths, so I was like, okay, what's half of 16? Okay, 13, okay, cool. And my husband's just like, oh my goodness, okay, step aside, let me read the tutorial and I will figure out how much fabric you need. So my husband is so sweet and he helped me figure it out. To be fair, with the whole 13 thing, I was like, what's half of 6? Okay, 13, and then instead of dividing 10 and adding that on, I just added 10, which is how I got to 13. But anyway, completely beside the point, and I'm rambling now, so I will show you what we got from the fabric store. For the cover, I got this. That's a better color. This is what we got for the headboard cover. Very plain linen, but it sort of matches the curtains, so I thought that was a good color. And then, much more exciting for my project bags. Oh, also when I was trying to choose fabric, my husband was being useless. I don't know if he was trying to be, I don't know. He just kept running around pointing at the most ridiculous patterns and being like, yes, let's get this one. And I'm like, first of all, that's like the thinnest cotton in the world, it will not work. And second of all, it had like prints of trains on it or something. And then there was another one. It did have very cute cats, but I was like, I'm not making my headboard out of like cute fabric. We need like a good fabric that will blend with everything else. And in my opinion, I like my large things, which are not going to be changed often, to be a sort of neutral color, and then my little things like cushions and covers and things that are going to be changed more regularly, then I like those to have like cute patterns or pops of color or whatever, so that it kind of gels, because I'm not going to be changing the headboard cover every single time we change our bedding. Anyway, so for my fabric, this is what I got. So obviously I had to get some interfacing, so that's a bit boring, just plain interfacing. And then I chose two fabrics, one for exterior and one for the lining on the inside, and I got enough so I can make two bags. So I'm going to have one bag with this pretty fabric on this is going to be on the outside for the one, and then on the inside of the other, and then this one grey with like little florally prints. This is going to be on the inside of the one, the outside of the other, and then I got these pretty zips to match. So I'm very excited for that. And at first I was like, oh, I can't start these projects because I want to show them as acquisitions. And then when I realized how much knitting I have to do, I was like, I can't start these projects anyway because I have to knit. So that's fine. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my story. And for my sewing acquisitions, yeah. Oh, and I forgot to bring it, but I will show you a picture since I've got a picture. I finished my sleeves. Last time in my last podcast I showed that I had a dress where the one sleeve was torn, and so I decided to unpick the sleeves and just hem them like little, so basically like a sleeveless top, and I did that last Sunday, so I will insert a picture here. For crochet, I have nothing. I am, you can't really see, but I'm using my crochet blanket whip as a chair cover, so it's nice and pretty and I'm enjoying it, but I actually haven't done any crochet, and I don't think I'm going to do for quite a while, so don't be surprised. And on to needleless chatter. I don't know, my husband came up with it. I thought it was cute. So, needleless chatter. First of all, Edinburgh Yarn Festival! It is this weekend and I'm so excited. So excited. I just can't express how excited I am. This is my first yarn festival at all that I'm going to. And I recently, well, yesterday I was watching some videos on YouTube of where people had gone to Edinburgh Yarn Festival last year and taken videos, and I'm just like, all the yarn. There's so much yarn. I don't know how I'm going to choose. I really don't know. And my husband's not going to be coming with me because my mother-in-law's in town, and he usually kind of tones me down. Like, I see everything and I'm like, I want everything, and then he kind of asks me questions like, well, what are you going to do with it, and blah blah blah, and will that really go with your wardrobe, and he asks me all these like very good logical questions and helps me to like kind of tone down, and I'll end up going away with just the right amount of stuff and things that I will be happy with and have it useful. And so I'm really sad that he's not going to be there with me, because yeah, I'm just gonna feel crazy. There's just so much. I don't know, I'm gonna have to spend the entire day there. I'm gonna have to walk around and look at everything like at least twice and then decide what I want to get, because as I said last time, I want to get some yarn for my mom, for a shawl for my mom, and some yarn for a shawl for my mother-in-law. Now my mother-in-law, I still need to speak to her, but she's coming on Friday and I'm only going to the yarn festival on Saturday, so I'll have time to chat to her and that sort of thing. But with my mother, I Skype her like every day or every second day, and so I have already asked her, like, she looked at some patterns on Ravelry and chose one which I think I will be able to do, that won't take too much yarn but just the right amount. And we've already discussed what sort of colors she likes, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to go there and then I'll like look at some stuff, and if I think it's right, I'll take some pictures and send them to her and ask her what she wants. So that's okay, but I still think that I'm going to be incredibly overwhelmed by all the choices, and I'm just so excited. And I found out that Katie Lavelli, I think it's Katie Lavelli, Miss Lavelli or Katie from Inside Number 23, she's going to be at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and so is oh my god, Kristen from Wool and Vine. And so I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet them. I'm sure we'll bump into them hopefully, because I think they're both going to be there on the Saturday at least, so, and I'm going then, so hopefully I'll bump into them and get to meet them, and I'm super duper excited, like stupidly excited. I can't express. And then one last thing in my needleless chatter is my knitting journal. So I heard a bit about it and I decided, since I actually do keep a journal myself, I've kept a journal since I was like 10, I thought it would be cool to start a knitting journal. But seeing everyone else's knitting journals now, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep going with mine the way I have. So I'll just show you. I have, oops, this lovely folder. And then I just, whoops, okay, don't want to show you that one because that's Ethan's. But, so I will put a link. I've been using, it's actually under here, oops, CatherineIvy.com, and I'll put a link in my show notes and everything, but I've been using her sort of prints outs, but But there's like this big lost space in the middle here where you're supposed to put a photo of your finished object, but the fact that I already use Ravelry, I don't really feel like I need to print out an extra photo and stick it in here. So I might kind of experiment, maybe make up my own sort of format. The reason I like having a folder like this is that if I'm sticking in yarn samples and stuff, it's not gonna make, I hate it when my books kind of like bulge open like that, and I kind of felt like this would work, and also I can put in as many pages as I need. But yeah, but after seeing Inside Number 23, Katie's, after seeing her book, it's so pretty with all the washi tape and like all her pretty handwriting and everything, and now I'm so jealous. Half of me wanted to go and just get a book like that and start a new one, and then I thought, no, I will just, there's no reason why I can't do that in my folder. I can just use different paper, and I don't have to print out a thing like I've been doing, and I can just make up my own one and do a similar thing but in my folder. So, because what's also useful about having my folders, and I also have a section here where I have, okay, I don't really want to show you because they are pattern, or I can show you this pattern because it's a free pattern. I print out patterns and I keep them in here for when I want to use them. This is the Vanilla Latte Socks by Virginia Rose Johns? Not sure. Anyway, so I have like different sections, and I have a section for all the different patterns or projects that I'm wanting to work on, and kind of like a list of the ones so I can tick them off as I do them. And I also have a section where if I come up with ideas for future things that I want to try out in my patterns, I can write those down. So yeah, that is my knitting journal, and I will see how it progresses from there. So yeah, pretty much. Oh, and I timed myself, and it turns out that one of those mitered squares for my blanket takes an hour. So yeah, not too bad. And I think that's it really. I don't have anything else to show you or tell you. So yeah, that's it. And so next time I podcast, I will have been to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and I'm so excited. That's like literally all I can think about right now. Even when I was like going to sleep, I was like, how many sleeps until Edinburgh Yarn Festival? I'm so excited. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you really enjoyed this podcast. If you want to be kept up to date with new podcasts, please feel free to subscribe and maybe give a like to the video. And yeah, please leave any comments or suggestions below. I'm very open to suggestions and comments. As you know, this is a very new podcast, and I want to show you what you want to see, so please get involved. Thank you. But this is a humongous scarf. I kept knitting it and I kept being like, okay, I'm finished now, I'm gonna stop this, and then you're like, no, please knit it longer. So this is my massive scarf, which I'm very proud of, and I'm still glad that he has it, because it's sort of like a milestone in my knitting.